Alright, thought I'd just do a real quick video on repurposing some equipment and how to make a neck knife out of some old crap. Basically, I like to recycle and use stuff, and what I did was I had this this was a Hinkle kitchen knife that the handle got melted off. My wife had tossed it out, and I said, oh, perfect new mushroom hunting knife. I wanted a new mushroom knife. Something, I didn't want to buy anything. I just wanted something I could go out and keep in my truck with my mushroom books. And when I saw something I wanted to go and cut or whatever, I could grab this. And it's light, you know, the handle's melted off. It was like one of their steak knives. And I needed a sheath. I wanted a neck knife. Apparently everybody's got neck knives now. So I wanted a neck knife I could throw over my knife, carry some grocery bags, plastic bags, grab some mushrooms when I see a good spot. And then I thought this would be perfect. So the handle was just melted. It melted on the stove by accident. Smoked up the house. So I drove the pins out. I just cut them off and took the pins out. The handle was melted, chipped that crap off and cleaned it a little bit with some sandpaper. And then, you know, it's still got the pinholes in it, so I did a quick wrap with some bright colored rope. You know, this is not a tactical thing. Bright colored rope that I could drop it in the dusk or the dawn and be able to find it and still have the advantage of if I found some mushrooms up on a tree, I could take the wrap off and lash it to a stick, and then I'd be able to reach up and cut, you know, some ling ching or beefsteak or maybe some oyster mushrooms that were up too high for me to reach. So I thought this would be a good tool on it, but I want a neck knife. I didn't want to go crazy. I didn't really want to use any leather. I have some leather, but I got other plans for that. So, you know, I always keep inner tube. I use it for everything, lashing and tying stuff together and ranger bands or whatever. So I thought, oh, maybe I can make a sheath, a neck knife sheath for this thing. So I did, and I used it all weekend. I've been using it for, I don't know, a week, I guess, today. I went to the coast with my wife. We spent the weekend there, marched my dog team, and I carried this with me. And I crashed and hurt my hand. I tore up some ligaments and whatnot. So here it is. Basically, what I did was I took a blown out inner tube that I had and wanted to make a sheath. So what did I do? First off, if you want to work with inner tube, you want it to retain some kind of strength. It's light, it's water resistant, you know, and it's nice. Works good. It's not real pretty, but it's functional, and that's really what I wanted. What you can do with, you don't want this stuff to rip, right? So, the thing is, if you slice in a tube, like you see here, I just put a slice in it. Wherever you get to the end of the cut, you can see this notch. Take your leather punch and punch a hole so that there's no stress directly pulling on a slice, because I've been using inner tube since I was a kid. It was something I had available, so, excuse me. And basically I know that if you cut a notch in it, same with leather and a lot of other products, the stress won't rip it. It spreads out evenly across the arch. So where I made this slit, I just slid it somewhere down the handle, rolled it back, I held it together, and I punched through both sides at the same time. And so that had a round, you know, and then I just passed an extra piece of the same rope I lashed the handle with. Take this off. And I lashed that through the holes so that you can see you can pass any kind of rope you want through there. You can still clip it to a belt loop or whatever. I just rolled it back. Doubled up. It makes it stronger. You know, one thin piece is not going to be enough. Probably break on you too quick. and it's a light blade. It's not a lot of weight. It's not taking a lot of stress. And then on the end, I just sort of tri-folded it. I didn't try to shape it tight to the blade. I left a lot of room for the tip to go down there. It swims around in there. But it's really doubled up. You can see from the back of the sheath. And I took one thin strip of that tube and I stretched it and wrapped it around. And then folded the ends underneath. Perfect little sheath. And then I never tie anything around my neck that won't give, because I don't want to get hung. So I thought it would be pretty nice to take this extra piece of, this is some pretty lousy lanyard that came on some cheap thing that I bought. I replaced with a better lanyard. Oh, it was on one of my elk calls. So it was an elk bugle. So I got rid of this and put better rope on the bugle. And then I used a hair scrunchie to give it some elasticness. And it'll give, this will break. It's weakened. So it'll break before I get hurt. And I had an extra beaner that I clipped it to. So now, you know, you can clip whatever you want to it. You can adjust it or whatever. I just do that and it works out real good. Drop it through. So I wear it as a neck knife now. That's got some stretch off the back of the neck. It's a little bit more comfortable. And hopefully the theory is that this weakened hair thing will give. This has got a lot of give, and this is meant to tear away if it's enough stress. And then hopefully I won't get hung. So there you go, repurposed knife that would have been thrown out, piece of scrap in the tube, and a piece of rope that was a lanyard for something else that binoculars. I didn't like it. So that's it. Quick video, how to reuse some stuff and make yourself a cheap neck knife. That's all. Thanks, YouTube.